Hello, people all around the internet. My name is, well, you know my name, you can read it. Today, I was thinking about a video idea, and I was thinking about just doing a video all about Super Smash Bros. Brawl soundtrack, because that's my personal favorite, even though it's not my favorite. It doesn't have my favorite music track. Anyways, and I was thinking, what makes it so good? Then I realized, why don't I just make a video about how to make a good soundtrack? So, hey, that's what I'm doing here. I have 4 reasons or 4 ways to make a good soundtrack, and then 4 examples. Let's get started with the mood. So, the mood is very important for the game, you know, it's just how everything's set up. Like comparing Super Metroid to Super Mario World, you need more of a solemn thing kind of mood in Super Metroid, and more of a bubbly feel in Mario World. So an example of, or a bad example of mood, would be giving Mega Man X's soundtrack and putting into Breath of the Wild. So you could probably see, because I'm playing Mega Man X music and Zelda Breath of the Wild gameplay at the same time, and you know, probably feel out of place. So, yeah, that's why mood is very important for a game soundtrack. Next up is to make it be unique. You can have a soundtrack that just sticks in with everything else. Kind of like New Super Mario Bros. Used. I'm not playing any from that game because it's very forgettable. This is from Mario World. But all their soundtrack is just so generic, bubbly Mario. It's just, oh, like Mario World had a good mix of what you're hearing now, the athletic, bubbly Mario music, with some actually pretty tense music. Like the Cave soundtrack. It's pretty solemn, actually, for a Mario game, but still get you in the mood to, you know, beat up turtles. Yeah. Next is the emotion. I know I already talked about the mood, but, like, the emotion for different parts of the game. Like Mario RPG, it's mostly exciting Mario gameplay, but at story points, spoilers by the way, it could get actually, you know, solemn, like Goodbye Geno soundtrack. That's why I said spoiler, even though it was pretty obvious. And then you're not hearing it right now, but when Mallow finds out, you know, that he isn't a frog, then you know, that had a nice soundtrack that became used. It's pretty interesting. You probably see it in the iCard, but whatever. So, different emotion or times of the game. Like, you can't have a menu in, like, a fighting game. You gotta make it amped up, usually. Then, you know, like, during the actual match, it has to be different. It has to also have that menu-type soundtrack. So, yeah. Next, this only applies for sequels or remakes. You gotta make it a good mix of original and remade soundtracks. So, like, you gotta have a feeling of both nostalgia of the old game with the feeling that it's not gonna get stale. I don't really have examples, besides, like, Smash Brothers, I guess, would be a good one, where it has new tracks, like, you know, any of the tracks during, most of the tracks, during the adventure mode, Subspace, which needs its own video, which I was thinking about. Leave in the comment if you want that, by the way. And, you know, has, well, it's mostly made up of video game soundtracks from other series, but, you know, whatever, you did that. I just thought of that example on the top of my head. It doesn't my script, so sorry about that. Anyways, let's get on to the examples of good soundtracks. Starting with the aforementioned Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but, you know, it could be all the games in general. It has a great soundtrack, like I said, great remakes, and has a lot of great new soundtrack music. It keeps most of the mood when you're fighting. Some soundtracks, why do I keep calling it that? Some music tracks don't evoke the mood of fighting, but they're good either way, so, you know, screw it. And, you know, had nice menu music for different parts and all that stuff. So, yeah, Smash Bros. Does have a good soundtrack if you already didn't know that. Next is Mega Man X. It has all new soundtracks, so this isn't really the sequel of anything, you know? It keeps the mood of the environment. Like, Chill Penguin has a nice, cool theme, you know, like, ice feel to his soundtrack. More than, like, what I was playing before at the beginning of the video, Armored Armadillo, which is more of a fast-paced, moving ground mine area, which evokes a feeling of, you know, pressure and speed and all that. So yeah. Next is Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. It has a good mix, again, of old and new soundtracks. Like X, it also keeps each environment, and has a Mario flair to everything. And also, if you were interested, Booyah Booyah Bass, hopefully I pronounced that right, for Mario Galaxy 1 is actually my favorite music track in any games. And that's saying a bit because I listen to game soundtracks off the video game. But yeah, I just wanted to add that in. But yeah, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And it's also pretty hard to have a space soundtrack because, you know, nothing can really hear you in space, according to Alien. But anyways, let's move on to the final example. Super Metroid. Like Mario Galaxy, it had the space soundtrack. Yep. And props for just being a platformer that needs the moody soundtrack. And, you know, just need the good mood of solemnness. That was a great way of saying it. Anyways, everything seems eerie. And at times alien and unknown. Which gives it a nice, you know, adventurous mood, too. I keep using mood. Shut up, me. Anyway, this is the end of the video. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video.